Hey, welcome back to my series on compensation analysis, Comp 101. Uh, Today's video, I'm looking into more of the how to use market data and benchmarking, which is really the backbone of any competitive pay strategy. Whether you're creating a new pay structure, revisiting an old one, or just anything in between, understanding the market data is essential. So let's get started. And like I said, this is just going to be a brief overview of this. We're not going to get into the weeds, but maybe in future videos, if people watch this and they're interested in getting more details and more in-depth explanation of these topics, then hopefully I'll be able to make more technical and more in-depth videos. So what is market data? Essentially, it's information on what other companies are paying for similar roles. It's how you ensure your pay aligns with the external job market. Without it, you risk underpaying or overpaying and losing talent, or stretching your budget too thin. In short, it's your cheat sheet for competitive compensation. So where do you find this data? The million-dollar question. Well, sometimes literally, right? There's a few different areas that you can find market data. First one would be salary surveys. These are just industry standard, and they provide detailed benchmarks. You can get them from a variety of different places that offer salary data for purchase, such as Mercer has some, Gallagher. Sometimes local associations even have it free to purchase. But on that note, professional associations, sometimes professional organizations will compile salary data for their members. And so that might be where you can get some niche insights into some of your more specialized areas. I work in healthcare, for example, and there is a hospital association that publishes data for hospitals in my region, so we can get a good regional picture of what pay looks like for various healthcare positions. You can also use HR software platforms, tools like PayScale, again, or Mercer. They have some fantastic real-time data. ERI also offers some fantastic data through their website. Again, not free, and sometimes can be rather pricey, but it does often provide more real-time data, as they will sometimes crowdsource market data from their existing customer base, so you can always have a more up-to-date snapshot, because most salary data is going to be older. Right now, it's January, and we're going through our salary season, as our survey season, as it were, and that data won't be published until maybe June of this year, and then we'll be using that same data until it's published again next year. So we're always a little bit behind, so you're always having to age your data. And then finally, networking. Simply talking with other HR professionals in your industry can help you to fill in kind of the gaps between what you're finding in your surveys or your other resources. You don't want to rely 100% on just what people are telling you. That's not best practice. But if you are having a difficult time finding good, solid matches, then your network might be able to help you fill in some of those gaps. So how do you interpret the data once you have it? Not all data is created equal, so you're going to have to interpret what you find. First up, look at geographic differences. Pay can vary widely by location. I'm in the Midwest, and we tend to run kind of on average with the national averages. But if you're out in California, New York, and some of the larger metropolitan areas, for example, your pay may be higher. If you're in a more rural area than I am, then your pay on average might be lower. You want to make sure that you're paying comparable to what similar jobs are paying in your same geographic region as much as possible. Look at industry trends. it's a tongue twister. Tech salaries, for example, they often outpace other industries. And you're going to find instances where you're going to hear that Netflix or the large big tech companies, they're paying ridiculously high. Just keep in mind that companies like Netflix, they have a policy that they will not lose somebody for salary, so they are going to pay top dollar all the time, and that means you're most likely not going to be able to compete for salary there. You're going to have to find other ways to draw in some of that talent if you're trying to get the Netflix crowd, that is. But just know what's being paid in your area, and understand that there are going to be outliers. Then next up, match data to job levels. Make sure the roles in your data match those at your company. Sometimes you'll find data that says this is a level 1 position, but when you're comparing the job descriptions and you're comparing the details of that data, you're finding that maybe your position performs more complex and higher level duties, or the other way around. You may have a position that actually performs less complex and lower level duties, and so you may need to adjust the data up or down a little bit to make sure that you're aligning properly, or you need to find a better match from another source if you can. And then finally, focus on the percentiles. For example, paying at the 50th percentile means that you're right at the market median. So some companies will aim to they'll aim to have their salaries on average be at the median, right there at the 50th percentile. So you're on average paying the same as the market. However, some companies, they may choose to lead the market. They want to be able to compete more on salary, and so they may say that maybe we're going to push up to the 60th, 70th percentile, which means that you're going to be paying more than, on average, more than 70% of the market that was in that survey. And then in other cases, maybe money is tighter, or it is an area that there isn't as much competition, and as we all know, supply and demand will influence this. Maybe you can lag the market a little bit, so you may pull back, and you may have your target set at the 45th or 40th percentile. Careful going too low, because then you will lose applicants. But if you are an amazing company with an amazing culture and other benefits that may entice people, then you might be able to afford to lag the market a little bit, and still be able to attract candidates for all those other reasons. And so then once you have all of that data, how do you apply it? Well, that's a great question, right? So start off by comparing your current salaries to the market, identifying gaps. Are some roles underpaid? Are some roles overpaid? And then you adjust where necessary, like I was saying in the previous slide, to stay competitive, especially for those high demand roles. That's where you may need to lead the market a little bit. Market data isn't static, so you do need to review it and revisit it annually to keep up with industry changes. And throughout the year, if you are hearing more from, as we were talking earlier, from your networking contacts, or from professional associations that you're in, that maybe certain jobs classes are a little bit more volatile in the market, and the rates are going up, then maybe you need to adjust a little bit differently, and you may have to step away from the market data just a little bit, because there isn't going to be anything new coming up for several more months. You can always age the data using a variety of methods, but that still may not be able to keep up with inflation or competitors in your market. Okay, so that is the long and short of what it means to apply market prices and benchmarks to your company. Like I said, this is just a brief overview. In the future, I do want to dive in more and give more concrete examples and more technical information on how to perform all these tasks. But this has been just a broad overview. So the next video, I want to look into internal equity and pay transparency. So stick around. I hope to have that one up sooner than I did for this one here. But thank you for watching so much. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel here, and check out and be on the lookout for more videos in the rest of the series, hopefully coming up very, very shortly. Thanks. Have a great day.